When a game is announced and then spends years and years in development, you can usually expect trouble. I Am Alive is not the exception to that rule. Originally announced in 2006, the third-person post-apocalyptic action game is limping to the digital marketplace right now. And wow, is it not worth your money.
Hey, you lost your way?
The game opens about a year after the event. Some kind of earthquake that rocked the entire country and produced a cloud of dust that'll kill you if you get caught in it. You're an Ashton Kutcher-looking everyman, and you've just made it back to your hometown of Haventon. You'll spend the next 4 to 5 hours exploring the wasteland in hopes of finding your wife and daughter. That sounds like a heartwarming story, but I Am Alive loses touch with it pretty quickly. You get to your old house right away and then start a bunch of fetch quests unrelated to your family. The protagonist keeps leaving messages to his wife on a camcorder, but it doesn't hide the fact that the family's an afterthought after the first few minutes. I Am Alive's graphics are notably dated. The character models are stiff and awkward. You need to carry a girl named May for a while and she just suctions to your back like a bag of sand. And that fog shows up to white out the screen and make for a really boring and annoying visual experience.
Hey! No, please.
Post-apocalyptic titles generally strike a chord with gamers, and I Am Alive has that potential on paper. Resources are limited in Haventon, so even though you have a gun early on, you're likely to only have one bullet for quite some time. This means assessing threats when you find them and bluffing your behind off. I love that in theory, but I Am Alive doesn't make it work. When machete-wielding dudes are running at me, I can stop them by drawing my gun. However, putting the gun down makes the enemies forget that I have the gun, so they'd run at me again until I raise the gun again. These guys are terrified of the Glock, but not so much as to remember that I have it.
Step back!
With the gun drawn, you can back bad guys up by shouting at them and then kick them off ledges. But yelling at them for a good 20 feet to get them into the right position doesn't exactly suspend the reality of how ridiculous this move is. Our protagonist can use his machete to slit throats and stab dudes, but those actions are wonky looking and don't have any real impact. Our everyman is a seasoned rock climber who will now scale the broken, blown out buildings of Haventon. As he climbs, his stamina gauge depletes. Again, cool idea, but the fact that you can pop a canned food item to re-up your gauge takes away the terror. So does the fact that the controls are a bitch here. Plenty of times I wanted my guy to slide down a railing, but instead he thought I wanted him to go to the side and eat up more of the gauge.
It's been almost a year now since the event. Only took me 4 hours to fly out east.
In the time it took to make I Am Alive, the video game industry passed the project by. Now everything from the inventory to the combat to the graphics feel outdated and clunky. You won't miss anything if you never play this game. For information on earthquakes, keep waiting for California to break off and float into the ocean. For more on I Am Alive and every other game you should avoid, check out IGN.com.